What's up, Planeswalkers? Bad Lighting 6 here, back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Of course, I do hope you head over to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal, and it helps support the show. Now, today, I'm playing a deck that I want to play. It's literally Metal Squad, but I've added in Saheeli. Saheeli, you dum-dum. I've made a couple other changes for this since the last time I've played. For example, instead of having just 4 Fountain of Renewals, we now have a split of Navigator's Compass as well, just because we are playing things like Kaya's Wrath now, and I want to make sure I'm going to be able to actually cast the cards that I want to cast. Additionally, adding in this Navigator's Compass allows me to play some Interplanar Beacons, and I actually want one more of that, and I thought I put it in. Apparently I did not. There we go. It should, theoretically, allow me to get away with running those lands, because we are now at 17 Planeswalkers, and before we were at fewer. Look, I don't know. Since we are focused a little bit more on Planeswalkers, and we don't really have a ton of main decked artifacts, I cut down Sai down to 1, just because he's useful when he works, but he's not always going to, because we have so few main deck artifacts. As you can see, I'm not going through the entirety of this deck. I just want to kind of talk a little bit about some of the changes I've made and stuff. I have another video on this without the Saheeli and the baseline. I've put in the Saheelis because she doesn't just care about non-creature spells. Or she doesn't just care about artifacts like Sai does. Sai, of course, does come with the extra bonus of the fact that 1, it can block, 2, it makes flying creatures, and 3, you can sack some artifacts to draw cards. But the fact of the matter is, Saheeli will trigger more often in this deck, and as such, she's better. We could also have one of our things turn into, like, a Parhelion. Oh, wait, I think that's actually legendary. Never mind. We can have some of our things turn into some of our sideboard cards, which is always going to be nice. 2 Contempts, we're still running these. I really don't love Contempts in this deck, but I couldn't really decide on other removal. I would prefer to have 2 CMC or 3 CMC removal, but unfortunately there's just not enough that deals with Planeswalkers and creatures. So I figured I would just keep this here. You know, you could play Elder Spell if you're coming up against enough Planeswalkers, but I just wanted to stick with this. We did add in a Kaya's Wrath. We took out all of the Cleansing Novas because I figured that 1 Kaya's Wrath plus the Time Wipes would probably just be better. You know, we were never using Cleansing Nova for the secondary ability, and Time Wipe, sometimes we might be able to use this on our Sai. Sai is like the only creature that would actually matter. I guess there's a few in the sideboard as well, but for the most part, this is just going to be for Sai. But it's just kind of better, especially considering Kaya's Wrath allows us to potentially gain a lot of life, because if we're going super wide, but we still know that our opponent's board is better than ours, just probably by being larger, then Kaya's Wrath is going to help out a lot. I don't think I've made any other changes besides that and like the main deck thing, including Interplanar Beacons. Oh, I think I did make a couple changes to the sideboard. I don't have the Elder Spell or Unmoored Ego in here anymore because I'm never playing this in best of 3. This would be a nightmare to play in best of 3, I think. But we've taken out like the Navigator's Compass. We've taken out a few other cards that I didn't think were super important, and we've actually added in the Thematic Compass from the main to the side. So, I don't have any basic lands main, so I don't need to waste that slot on a Thematic Compass. And really, Thematic Compass was there kind of to pad out the artifact total for Sai. And now that we kind of have decided that Sai isn't as important, we can kind of move it to the side, where we can get it with our Karn, the Great Creator, bring it in if we have 7 or more lands, and there's a specific single creature that our opponent is attacking us with. And I have used it for that, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. We threw in Chaos Wand, I believe. It's good in some matchups. I like a lot of these activated ability cards. You know, Magister's Scepter can come in and be fun with the Proliferate we have going on. Firemind's Vessel is just nice to ramp a little bit. And then I think everything else is the same. I still haven't been able to live the dream of getting a Parhelion, playing it, and then using Karn to make this a creature by itself and just attack with it. But, you know, hopefully one day. And I'm playing this deck because I want to. That's the only reason. I have come to the decision that I'm not going to try to make... how do I phrase this? I'm going to... I ain't riding trends, right? If there's a super popular deck that's running around, I'm not going to be like, I need to play this now. I'm just going to play the decks that I find interesting, right? So I'm probably not going to end up playing Mono Green Tron, because that deck it does not agree with me. So we can Compass now, or we can save it for a turn after we play Saheeli. I think there's not really a reason for me to try and play this right now. We don't know what our opponent's playing. Please don't tell me it's another mono blue. I played against enough mono blue today. Thank you. So yeah, we're just going to cast this. You know, we miss out on value for our Saheeli, but hopefully we'll be able to, you know, Saheeli, maybe get something on turn 4, and then be able to just play our other Planeswalkers. This is not the first mono blue deck I've played today in Unranked. For what it's worth, last time I did win. Oh! That is not what I was expecting. At all. So now the question is, do I just play Saheeli now, or do I Thought Erasure my opponent? Not gonna lie, I'm more afraid of what my opponent has. And this is tap down. Oh, it's another one of those weird decks. It's a... I've matched up with this before. It's just literally one of those weird mono blue hybrid decks with tempo elements and mill. I don't understand it all. I'll keep that, because I'll be able to play Tezzeret. So, you know, we're going to cast Saheeli next turn. I mean, she might die a horribly painful death, but that's fine. Being able to just go into... It's so weird. Oh, right. Godless Shrine's gone. I don't understand this deck at all, man. Not a single bit. So incredibly confusing. Because they're not like committed enough to the mill plan, and then they lose out on, I assume, counter spells. Why would you... They're also putting their shields down here, which they're probably not going to get punished for, of course, because I just milled that, but I also would have liked to be able to cast that, but, you know, cast Levi. You should not play it. I mean, if I draw my Kai'Srath, I'm playing it. I lost my other Contempt too, damn. Not what I wanted to see. But my opponent might be dumb and focus on Saheeli. And they wouldn't be able to kill her, right? This would be +1. Yeah. 44. I just don't... I don't know, I just don't agree with this deck. Even if I lose to this matchup, I just don't think this is the correct thing to play, right? Either play tempo, or play... Ah, damn, I lost my freaking... Ah, shit, and they... Ah! That's very frustrating. But, like, either commit to mill or commit to tempo. I see no reason to muddle the deck like this. Right, imagine they played something better on turn 2. I don't know what it would be, but imagine, right? Alright, so I'll play this. Plus, can block something, which is nice. They didn't draw cards last turn, which is nice. I'll just block this. Next turn, I can Tezzeret and get something from my graveyard, but there's not really anything here that I want. I can only get artifacts back. Sure. Just losing my my board wipes. I have one more time wipe. Very obviously going to block the Benthic Man. Is that true? Might actually be better to not... Yeah, I think it's better actually to not block. Because then I'll have this and I can potentially double block this the following turn. And if I want to play Tezzeret and plus, then it's more likely that I'll actually get value out of it. Of course, it's very likely my opponent is going to have some sort of removal spell here. Or not removal, I should say, counter spell. So I could Karn and I'd get a 2-drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Playing Karn plays around Spell Pierce. But Karn actually might be more valuable to me. And since they have a Wizard, it doesn't play around Wizard's Retort. So frustrating. The thing is, like, if I draw land next turn, then Karning for Compass is actually really nice. So I think I'm going to try and Tezzeret. Even when you muddle your own deck. Yeah, they had Spell Pierce, yeah. Even when they muddle their own deck, they still always have it. I hate this deck so much. Someone asked me a little bit ago what my least favorite deck to play against is, and it's so clearly mono blue. I fucking hate this deck. It's not even like great in this format right now, right? It's not like a contender, but it's just frustrating to play against. It's so annoying. Okay, don't know why you wanted to do it that way, but sure. You know, it's strange, but fine. Where's... Ugh, trying to open up Discord so I can answer the questions. River Island, sure. I will absolutely double block this Iron Storm Tamer. And if you're just doing that, I will chump this easily. Yep, that is fine. I'm okay being at roughly equilibrium. I actually don't hate a land here. That's absolutely fantastic. So what we're going to do is first we'll play... I guess I can still play around Spell Pierce like this, and I can't play around 2 Spell Pierces. And if they had 2 Spell Pierces, I'd be actually upset. So like, there's no reason to shock ourselves before we know if this is going to resolve. Are you serious? Of course it doesn't resolve. Why would it ever resolve? And that's our last time wipe, so we no longer can wipe the board. So that's fun.
I learned a few tricks on calendar.
Is there anything I can do? I've lost 2 great creators. I have lost both all of my board wipes, right? Time wipes, Kaya's time wipe, yeah. Tezzeret. I have 1 Tezzeret left. I have no Vraskas left. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty not great for me. Yeah. Can't do much about it. What am I at? 31? That's fine. Face. Really. I assume they have dive down here, right? Like, I'm going to double block this to try and kill it. But they had that dive down, right? Yeah, dive down. And that's fine. I kind of expected something like that to happen. Lost my last Tezzeret. I don't know if there's anything I can do anymore. It's possible I should just be running more board wipes. So, you know, I run 23 lands. I'm playing 6 drops and I run 23 lands.
Let's see how you respond.
Nice.
To genius.
Riveting gameplay. You know what? Yeah, I've said that I'm not super enthused about Vras's Contempt. So honestly, just go away. Kai's Wrath, an additional Kai's Wrath for sure. And then I think I want some removal at 2 or 3. Hashtag doing it live. Destroy. Also, I don't need this. Mortify is interesting. Like, Bedevil helps, but like it forces us into red. The double black is not great at that moment. I think I like Mortify actually. Oops. Should not crack my muscles. I don't have those. Shouldn't crack my knuckles when I'm recording, because that ish is loud. Our first game was against Mono Red, and we were like lost on white for a long time, but we were able to resolve a Karn the Great Creator and get a Thematic Compass that immediately flipped, and I was able to keep their they had a single Steamkin and I was able to keep that at bay for quite a while. This hand seems fine. It's not great because we obviously don't have white at all, but it should be okay. Yeah, we were able to keep their Steamkin at bay. You know, we had like 3 of these at some point, so you know we were gaining life and things, so it was okay. So my opponent is on Boros? Okay. I see a lot of Boros in... Okay. Do one of these. See how this treats you. My opponent, I'm sure hates me. Oh, it's a feather deck. Okay. And you only have feather right now, so that's funny. Oh, Interplanar Beacon. Don't mind if I do. So, let's see. Shock. So this card doesn't matter. This card doesn't matter right now. Gutter Snip. Okay. I did not expect Gutter Snip. Huh. I think that's correct to play Saheeli first. It's relatively unlikely she'll die.
The world yields to art, not oppression.
3. Oh, they would have to shock her and use Battlefield Promotion on it. And I think I'm fine forcing them to use 2 cards. Oh, they decided to go with Defiant Strike. Okay. So yeah, she's dead. But okay, just more of those. Well, they're gonna overkill her. Shock on her.
Stop.
So I could play Karn and -2, but that wouldn't be great. Drowned Catacomb was interesting. But I think what I want to do here is play a... Is that true? Plus goes to 6. I think I'd rather just do this. See what I can get here.
I battle for the forces of good.
Dude, give me the white source. They're not going to. They shouldn't. You should not give me the white source. You should give me the Watery Grave. You are smart. But theoretically, next turn I could play Fountain of Renewal, Dovin, -1 the Dovin, -2 the Karn, and have a decent board, right? Not great, but decent. If my opponent... Oh, well, I don't have double white for Kai's. I will need to get double white soonish. Sure. Okay, he has 3 power. That's fine. I'm going to... Spectacle the burn spell? So this isn't a full feather deck, very obviously. It's just like a spells deck that tries to use feather.
Please stop.
Is Karn dead? No? Cool. Tezzeret. I do like Tezzeret. Do I play Dovin plus Fountain, or do I play Tezzeret? I could also just Kaizreth. I don't think I need to yet. I think it's fine to just plus here.
Good choice.
You have to give me a fortress now. So I can play the fortress, and... Right. Can't Kaizreth yet. Need the other one. That's fine. I think I prefer getting a Tezzeret down. He's bigger, a bit harder to weave in. Taking that feather on turn 2 was helpful.
My device is finished, as are you.
Obviously, he can have removal for this 1/1. Just a shock on Tezzeret. Interesting.
Cease this nonsense.
I assume he's going to rile his creature. No, just a Gird for battle. So that doesn't do much for you, because I do have a blocker. I feel like he should have riled. If he's going to rile, he should have riled first. It looks like he is, yeah. Should have riled first. You always try to draw first. Oh, he's trample now. Didn't realize he gained trample. Okay, decent. He's going to put one... Nope, he's attacking me, which I think is probably, like, reasonable. I still block here, because I don't want to die a horribly painful death. But, let's see, we can... So we can minus, get Saheeli. I don't think that's important. I could... Kaya's Wrath to pull this up. I mean, I want this to die, right? So we definitely play this, I think, and we just mortify that. And... plus here. I would kind of like...
Nothing is ever true.
to get this now. Just in case. So I'm down to 6, but I'll start gaining some life here. That's unfortunate, but it doesn't have trample. Does that give trample? No, it gives first strike. That is fine. I'm totally fine with that. And they put it on the bottom, and that one on the bottom, so that's a very good sign for me. Yep. And they kind of have to just ignore my planeswalkers now and try to kill me. But you can't. No. No, you can't.
Silent, obedient perfection.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous heart.
I am here.
Yeah, so at this point we should be fine. Next we're going to play Saheeli into Dovin into Treasure Map. And that, I mean, that really should just seal it. Sure. Yep, just gains indestructible. Cool. Second game was against Gruul Green. I died. I put up a fight, but, you know, when your opponent goes, what was it? Merfolk Branchwalker into... Crap, I don't remember. I thought erased a Steel Leaf. He went Branchwalker into something large-ish, and then I had to go get Transmogrifying Wand. He had double Collision Colossus, and he was able to just hit me for a ton, kill my Planeswalkers, and make it so I couldn't actually, like, do anything. He was able to play out a Gulta. I had to destroy that as well. So, you know, he's rocking with 2 sheep going on. But I just took too much damage over time, and I died to a good old-fashioned Colossus to the face. This hand is pretty weak, but we do have a treasure map. And it's fine. You know, we have a catch-up mechanic if we're against aggro, if we're against control. Tezzeret should be able to help us out. Do I want to compass now? Not really. I don't need to take any undue damage, I think. Mox Amber we're always going to hold until we can use it, or until we get something like a Saheeli. Speaking of Saheeli, that's pretty nice. So we are going to Watery Grave and Treasure Map. And I'm not going to hold on my upkeep because I would prefer to just have a land on top so I can play Saheeli. Now, my opponent, Thought Erasure, they always have it. They're probably going to take Saheeli. I don't see why they... Yeah. There we go. I was going to say, there's like no reason for them not to here. I don't want that Saheeli because I do need a land. It's not a land. You know, it's one thing or the other, right? So, unfortunate, but you know the treasure map can hopefully help us out there. No Thought Erasure. I assume this time they just take Tezzeret. Ugin is kind of an issue, but my assumption is my opponent just takes it. I'm in play mode. I've been in play mode this entire time, and I realized the only deck that is not tiered that I've played against is the Gruul Green deck. Cool. Please don't have no Thought Erasure. I will snap concede. Sure. Have Ugly Teferi. This style doesn't work with Teferi, in my opinion. Oh, fuck you.
Here we go.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Last game was against Mono Blue, a normal Mono Blue deck, and I was able to win off the fact that I took... I thought Erased them and took something important out of their hands.
Let's slow this.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck this. I'm in unranked, man. Like, I guess, you know what? I'm just gonna go to ranked, right? Like, if I'm gonna face this shit anyway, I might as well play in an actual ranked game, right? Like, well, just why? Why are you playing straight Esper Control in unranked? Doesn't, like, you can't even argue that you need to practice that deck, because literally, you just... Is that versus off-center or is Karn just that big? You just fucking go into ranked mode, because either you're good enough to have a high rank, in which case I doubt you need to practice that much with that deck, or you're shit and you're in low ranks and you're just trying to play a good deck in order to rank up faster. But if that's the case, you're in a low rank, just practice there. Why you gotta ruin things? Against Mono Blue, I took something important out of their hand with Thought Erasure, and they had like 2 dive downs stuck in their hand because I wasn't gonna target removal anything of theirs. So I was able to just overwhelm them with tokens and just constantly chump block, make it so they couldn't draw extra cards, and overwhelm them in the long term. That was that meant. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep this. It's not great if we're going against control, but you know, fuck it. Right, fuck it. Turn 1 elf. Yeah, turn 1 elf. Not great, but definitely could be worse. Yeah, I'd rather not pay life. I think like, it's just kind of a waste. Turn 2, I do think I treasure map. Incubation Druid, interesting. So this is just some sort of ramp strategy. Do I treasure map? Yeah, I think I'd rather treasure map. You know, having that information allows me to play out my turns a little bit better. So they're on some sort of Simic deck. I assume it's just Simic Ramp or something. They can hit me for 1. Yep, that's fine. Is it Simic Elves, maybe? I don't know. I would rather use this. Because I have another... I don't need that. I have plenty of lands in my hand now. Now that, of course, I don't need the lands. Interesting, another treasure map. Yes. Yes. Like, obviously getting the fountains down early is nice, but just turboing out these treasures is also helpful. These are also really cheap to play with a Saheeli or with a Sai, so that's kind of why I'm going this route. Growth Spiral. Okay, so I'm seeing what you're playing. I'm just looking for the payoff. Opponent only has 3 cards in hand, so that's nice. And if they tap their Incubation Druid, they tap down their board, right? So Tameo. Okay.
Let us have a storied battle worth
So
retelling.
you didn't do anything with Tameo, which is interesting. I don't need this land, please. Will I? Yeah, I might as well. I don't need this land, please. How many lands was that? Three lands. And I've drawn this, and Beacon, I think? I could be wrong. Main phase. So I can just double down on the fountains here. I think that's probably fine. Fountain. Stem a little bit of the bleeding. My opponent didn't even Tameo last turn, though. That's so strange to me. Next turn I can Karn in -2, because I'm going to have treasures out the wazoo. Out the Kalamazoo. Paradise Druid, okay. Still looking like some sort of weird version of elves. Are you just some weird version of elves? Because I don't understand what you're doing, or why Tameo's in here if you're not using her. Okay, there's the activation. Let's see what they're looking for. Opponent only has 1 card in hand. Hydrocrisis. Frustrating, so yeah, it's just ramp. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult to deal with. Stop! Get some help. Bruh. If it weren't for these treasure maps, I would have lost my mind. I thought Wizards said they started trying to eliminate these land clumps. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
Some solutions must be built.
I'm playing 23 lands. And I've scryed 5 lands to the bottom. That leaves 18 lands in play. Or on the field. I have 6 lands. That leaves 12 lands. There are 12 lands in the rest of the 43 cards. Doesn't seem correct. Opponent unfortunately got to draw a decent amount of cards, but luckily, still relatively low. Okay, yeah, it's just Simic Ramp deck. I'd like to do this, please, because I'm certain it would have tapped my Treasure Cove. I didn't randomly switch decks, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I don't even think I can, like, play the Mox Amber and attack their Tamiyo, because they obviously block with Hydrocrisis, then they just get Hydrocrisis back from their graveyard and play it again, gaining more life, drawing more cards. I could have drawn so many things. Do I draw first? Do I Karn first? Who fucking knows? Because I'm going to draw land. Oh, wow. Functionally land. Cool. Sure, all plus.
A curious choice.
Not bad, actually. Not actually bad.
You've never seen anything like this.
Can't I turn one of these things into a... Oh, dude, fucking hell yeah. You're not summoning sick, right? Is this summoning sick? Did I play this? Enter... Oh my gosh, thank you. Enter the battlefield this turn. You are great. Enter the battlefield this turn. I don't really want to lose any of my treasures, but I also don't want to lose this because I can draw with it. Shut the fuck up. None of these entered this turn, right? Okay. Target Artifice Control becomes a copy. Okay, so this one becomes a copy of this one.
Do I have your attention?
Hell yeah. So I definitely want her to die. And I'm sure they're just going to let this through, which is fine. Because if I target, like, if I just attack them and her, then they block... Yeah, I think I have to do this. Okay, yeah. So, for what it's worth, my opponent absolutely could and probably should have blocked with Hydrocrisis and Llanowar Elves, because then they would have been able to keep her around. This would have been in the graveyard, they should get another one. Of course, that assumes that our opponent didn't actually just draw a Hydrocrisis, which they very likely could have. Meanwhile, I'm over here sitting on an additional land. So that's fun. Do I think I lost because of the lands? Yes, I do. Let me rephrase. I think a large part of why I lost that game is because I went through so many lands. There's a Kai's Wrath in my hand. These are redundant, but they'll probably die. This is helpful, and I get to go first. Sure, I'll keep it. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? I feel like I should just run 4 Duress, 4 Thought Erasures. Just for the hatred reasons alone. Just for the hatred reasons alone. Just end turn, dude. From the Discord, Win Warrior asks, between your 3 Guildgates and Goblins characters, which has been your favorite in terms of role-playing? Vicaru, easily. I had so much fun with Vicaru. I felt You know, I'm really sad that it ended, that the show ended, because Vikaru had so much more, like, I had so many plans for Vikaru's character, things were supposed to come to light and things like that, that unfortunately didn't, but it was still a blast. I assume my opponent has a counterspell here, so we're just going to play this Karn first, because we have a redundant copy. Cool story, bro. Shakai's Wrath seems useless in this deck, in this matchup, because I do assume that my opponent is on some sort of wonky control. I assume they're just budget, which, you know, don't hate on people for being budget. I mean, they have to have just another counterspell, right? I guess they could have a, I didn't really want to draw that Kaiser Wrath, though. They could also just have a Campster's Insight they want to cast. It's just like a counterspell.deck. No, they're looking. I really want this one to resolve. Fuck. That probably means this is not going to resolve. Okay. I assume what was on top was the other opt. So they could dig again. Cool. So the reason I really wanted this to resolve is so that I could get, you know, some more looks.
You may regret that choice.
I assume they're going to give me the time wipe? Yeah. Because time wipe does nothing. We have 3 dead cards in our hand. Against the decks that we wanted to have board wipes. Cough, cough. The last game, any of those board wipes could have shown up. You're going to bounce Karn? Or tuck Karn?
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, yep.
You need to take a time out.
Definitely an argument for making a token there, but I need to just draw because I want to be able to play Karn. Dovin. Dovin is interesting. So what would Karn get me here? I could get Sorcerer's Spyglass, but I couldn't cast it yet because unfortunately Mox Amber adds 1 mana of a color, and this does not have a color. So I think I'm actually going to Dovin. I think I'm going to Dovin -1. Because that has something that does pressure this.
Let's add this battle to your record of
Let's
bad
do this
decisions.
now. Yeah, see, I don't want that, so. And Mox Amber is free, so I'm going to hold it in hand. You know, I don't want to show my cards, as it were. Because that's one more piece of information my opponent knows about. Our hand is functionally 2 cards, right? Also, I totally forgot. I knew what the next card is. It's Karn. Dum-dum. Interesting. What are you paying for 6? Ugin? I mean, Ugin minus isn't great. Are you blowing up one of my lands? What are you playing? Oh, Time Rubber. Okay. You're gonna bounce the treasure map?
I'll show restraint.
You bounce that. Okay.
Try this.
Sure. Why'd you take the damage then?
The facts
Yeah,
can't
still
be
doesn't say
denied.
why you took the damage.
I am beaten.
I guess because they have a 3-mana counterspell that they're holding up? No. That wasn't why.
I have faced worse than the likes.
So that's strange.
Awaken.
Yeah, I should have, like, knowing that the treasure map was going to flip, I should have used it, but... Yeah.
I've got it. Keep up the pace.
Special Chaos. I have 2 Mythic Rare wild cards, and I'm not sure what to craft with them. I was thinking of Karn from Dominaria, but if the sets rotate, well, I've wasted those cards. So, no. Wizards is going to have some sort of arena format that uses all of the cards that we have collected so far. I want them to also go back to the other sets that are available in...
I can no longer stand by and watch.
That's an interesting choice there. Oh, okay. Sure. Okay, Tezzeret. Yeah, I'm done. I don't feel like playing it anymore. Standards is a fucking shit place right now. Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. I already went over my sideboard, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Huh. Oh well, I'm gonna answer these questions as I buy a pack or something. Yeah, Wizards is supposed to have a new arena-based format, and I really do hope that they go all the way back to Shadows of Innistrad. That was in their alpha version, and I'd really like to see that that set come back. For, you know, people would be able to play with Arling, right? Actually have a wolf deck. You know, Tolsimir would be in there too. Zombies would get a boon, which is always nice. I'm sure there's other things that I'm missing, but it would just be interesting. Oh gosh. Whew. That was a strong one. It came on fast. And then last, of course, Xander's Quest. Great person. He helped me make this. Well, he made this little border around my face, and he asked if you could play Magic with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? The Dead or Alive franchise, obviously. No. Okay, the game froze for a second there. That was strange. I'd never encountered that before. If we could play Magic with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? I mean, I've played with a lot of people who I want to play with. You know, I've been able to hang out with Merchant and shut up. You know, Merchant, Alias, all of them. So one of the people who I really want to play with that I should be able to play with soon probably is Vince, also known as Pleasant Kenobi. I fucking love that guy. He's so fun. And then of course there's the meme one, which is fucking everyone who plays Magic in the Northern Lion group. Nick, I don't know if Nick still plays. I'd love to play with Ryan, but Egglord seems to really hate people who play Magic. I actually made a meme thing of Rob, and that's on the NLS Circle Jerk in a comment. I didn't post an actual thing of it, but yeah, it would be fun to play with any of them. I know Sinvicta plays a lot of Magic, but yeah, any of those guys, they're all a ton of fun. So any of those people, fucking anyone, I don't know. Magic's fun. I'd play Magic with fucking anyone. I'm sure like some people have left. That's fine. I was about to say, if Hitler played Magic, I would play some games with him before I reported him. Like, if Hitler came from the 40s to here, right, and he was gonna leave in 2 hours or something, go back to Germany, and he didn't try and kill me on sight, you know, I'm brown, I would totally fucking play Magic with him if he knew how to play and he could understand what the fuck was going on. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. But I'm not gonna pass up a chance to play Magic with a fucking historical figure just because he's a piece of shit. Also, if you think calling Hitler a piece of shit is bad, fuck off. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander, Croft, Zin, and Ruxel, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them, supporting the channel, you'll find links to that down in the description below, or you can just press that join button. Nice and easy. Way to support the boy. In the description, you'll also find links to the Discord server where we chat and play games. It's a ton of fun. It's where you ask me dumb questions and I answer them, and talk about Hitler for no reason. And my Aether Hub account, I am trying a new thing where I actually like just have the link to the deck list in the description as well. People have been asking for it. I link to my Aether Hub account in general, but I'll try to do that if I remember and stuff. So that's a thing. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, even though it really showcased just like fucking how awful the meta is right now. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, cast one of them comments in the comment section down below, pass the turn and the vid to some of your friends, and of course, until next time, all will be one.